We visited the Knife River Indian Village National Historical Site near Stanton, North Dakota in the fall of 2019. If you would like to get notices when I post again, be sure to subscribe right here. Just click on that button. This is the 1,758 acres that this National Historic Site covers. This is the place where they picked up Sacagawea. We spent most of our time at the Visitor Center since it was raining, and then later in the Earth Lodge where they told us how they lived here. It was established on October the 26th, 1974. The Hidatsa Northern Plains Indians lived here, and there are about 10,867 visitors a year. Now let's head to the Knife River National Historic Site. We will first visit the Visitor Center, and then we'll drive up the highway and park closer to the Indian Village and try to walk to it in the rain. This is what it looked like in this area. We're on the Knife River, and this is what the local native villages look like during the summer. This is called the Knife River because there's a lot of flints along here, and they use this to make many different tools which they will then trade over a long period of time along with beadwork. As Northern Plains Indians, they did use the bison quite heavily.
Well, this is a main significance to this park is the example of the Northern Plains Indian cultures. There are 560 recognized tribes, and the Knife River Indian Villages focuses mostly on the Hidatsa, but we also associate with the replica and the Mandan, and by extension we also cover the Lewis and Clark. This is where the core discovery picked up, as we call the Charbonneau family.
And now let's go out and look at the Earth Lodge. They were 40 feet across, could house up to 20 family members, a couple of horses, and a few dogs. These were owned and mainly built by the women. And this is what it looked like on the inside with the entrance to the bottom. The men would come in and put up the main post and the post around the side, and the women did all the rest of the work. It took about 300 logs in 7 to 9 days, although the Park Service took 9 months.
So if you were a kid, you would get a bison robe and sleep on the floor. But when you get a little bit older, then you would be sleeping on one of these kinds of beds, and you were probably sleeping next to a sibling if you were a teenager. Then when you got married is when you got the real upgrade. Then you would get this nice canopy bed right here, and the cover itself was used for just keeping in warmth, and it was also storage for a teepee cover. So it had multiple purposes. But that wasn't the best bed in the whole Earth Lodge. The best bed was actually right here. This is called your tuka. In the daytime, it is your couch, and at night it is the best place to sleep because you're right next to the fire. So you're going to be nice and warm. So this is where the elders got to sleep, because it was the best bed in the Earth Lodge. Now this was also your storytelling station. Exploit row, and it tells the exploits of a man named Forebears. He was a great Mandan chief and he was highly respected, and he had a lot of friends that he could meet. So if you look at the top left, you can see the dash is there, and then the red figure in the middle. That's when Forebears earned his name. So there's a great battle between tribes. The Forebear side had to retreat. And Forebears himself refused, and like in the picture, he grabbed his spear and he ran at the enemy by himself. And seeing a single man charging at about 60 or so people, armed only with a spear, his enemies thought, what kind of power does he have? What is he going to do to us? So in doing this, he scared away 60 horses, because they said he rushed with the power of Forebears. So that's how he got his name, Forebears. Because after hearing the story, it's going to be dinner time. So you're going to want to dip into your food stash. And that is this hole in the ground right over here. It's called your cache pit, and you can go over and inspect it closer if you would like. So your cache pit is where you put your storage for your food, your corn, squash, and beans. And the stick that's coming out of it is your ladder to get up and down. Now you'd have 3 or 4 of those in or around the earth lodge, just in case one collapsed, then you still have food available to you. So that's one form of storage in the earth lodge. Another form of storage are the things hanging from the ceiling. Those are called parflesh. Parflesh are your hanging clothes closets. Now the mice, they are the unwanted animals in the earth lodge. The wanted animals in here, those are going to be your dogs. Your dogs are going to be on the other side of this row, near the entrance, so they would be an alarm system of sorts. And then you would
Not
also...
that one.
That's okay.
Lick 'em to death, huh?
She'll lick them to death. Yeah, you're right.
Those are great. But you would also have your horses in here. So your horses would be kept right over here. You see the saddles like right over in the stable section. So in the summertime you would have one horse inside almost all the time, and that is called your bison country horse. You have the bison. So you didn't want being stolen, which is why you would keep it indoors. Now in the winter, when it was freezing cold outside, negative 40 degrees, and nobody should be out in that weather, then they would have all their horses inside. So you've got a handful of horses, some dogs, 15 to 20 people, and mice, and a fire going. I think you're going to be pretty cozy in the winter, but it might smell a little bit. Tobacco was the only item in the garden that the men were able to handle. The women were not allowed to touch it. It was a very specific rule for the men. And only the older men were allowed to smoke it. So they knew, you might not know why, but they knew that if you ran a race against somebody who didn't smoke tobacco and you smoked, you were going to lose.
Here we have some of their farming implements, and this was a trading hub. People came for hundreds of miles around to trade with these Native Americans for beads and for various flint products. The villages here were established in 1600 and died out in 1837 when smallpox eliminated 95% of the people. Out of the 1,600 people in the villages, 31 survived. And because of their trading, they spread it over hundreds of square miles. Now we've reached the parking area near the village that Sacagawea was from. And so it's time to maybe head out and look at her village. It's here by the Knife River and is about 1,000 feet away from the parking lot. A very reasonable distance, even in the rain, and it might have looked like this. So I head out in the rain, but don't go far. I slip and get muddy from head to toe. So this is what it would have looked like if I had made it there. It's just an open field right now. Look, from the air you can see the remains of the housing.